We're going to go match by match to break down what we thought about each match and then figure out our overall score.
The story that these two were able to tell, very dope.
A+.
I still have to give the match a C, though.
She's still filling it out, but she's still learning and growing.
That's not chocolate, that's doo-doo, baby. I ain't gonna roll with this one. What grade would you give the past 5 months of heel Cena?
A+. He sold it.
It shows the impact of The Rock. Of like, people literally are pissed at this man for not showing up. It's like, bro, I'll go A- though.
He looks like Eddie Guerrero, and it's kind of like he's just channeling that Uncle Eddie energy.
I gave it an A+. Gold, you gave it an A+. Madison, you gave it a B. I think those two are WrestleMania bound in a one-on-one match to end that feud. Hip hop and wrestling, how you doing? My name is VSOP, and I'm with my mans and them.
Stephen Gold, what's good, people?
All right, we also got Mr. Rappers Like Wrestling 1, 2, and 3, and a new project, Escape to LA. My man, Madison J. Introduce yourself, sir.
County, you already know who it is. It's Wake County's finest. Madison J. Hip Hop and Wrestling. We are here.
Hip Hop and Wrestling. So SummerSlam, the first ever two-night SummerSlam. And I don't think this is going to be the last. It was actually a pretty good weekend, a pretty hype weekend. Overall, I enjoyed the show. We're going to go match by match to break down what we thought about each match and then figure out our overall score of the show. I believe they're going to keep doing the two-night SummerSlam. I don't know what that says for the other shows like Rumble or Survivor Series. Honestly, the Rumble would make the most sense with the men's Rumble main eventing one night and the women's main eventing another night. If they wanted to go that route, the Rumble's never really a match-heavy card to begin with because the Rumble match itself is an hour at least, minimum. Right, but if they wanted to test the waters with that, they could. They could test the waters with that and MITB if they wanted to, with Money in the Bank. But at what point does it become overkill? I'm not quite sure. First, let me just start with you, Gold. What did you think about just a two-night SummerSlam? Is this something that you're looking forward to in the future?
Yes, sir, for sure. I enjoyed both nights, but most definitely night 2 was better than night 1. The ending, of course, was Chef's Kiss, beautiful, but I really enjoyed it, and I think they should definitely continue moving forward like 2 nights for SummerSlam. Second WrestleMania.
Madison J., what did you think about the first ever two-night SummerSlam?
I think it's a dope concept, having it go 2 nights. SummerSlam has always been like the WrestleMania of the summer, kind of like the midway point of the year, almost like if it was All-Star, even though it's not a break, it's like that midpoint, all right, leading into the ending of the year, going into Rumble, and all that whole cycle. I've already looked at SummerSlam as a counterpart to WrestleMania. WrestleMania is on 2 nights. It makes sense for SummerSlam to follow up going 2 nights as well. The thing people have to put in perspective is that, these events, being that you're kicking crazy bread to attend, this is a spectacle. This is an event. If you're willing to invest in it, that's on the patron, whoever's attending, in terms of if they want to deal with whatever comes with being able to attend these events. It's a spectacle. WWE is cognizant of that. They always give us like a weekend, especially on big pay-per-views, the big 5. They always give some type of fan going on. They're trying to expand the business of it and collect all those dollars by expanding it by 2 nights. It's also giving talent more stretch in terms of being able to make the big event with 2 nights. If you were to take the best matches, there would be a lot of talent that probably wouldn't have been on a main card event. I'm not knocking the splitting of having it 2 nights because it's giving the fans enough action to carry over. It's crazy when you look at it though. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, back to work. It is expanding the workload for WWE overall, not even just the wrestlers, but the crew as well. Those who are setting up the rings.
Yeah.
The tech crew is putting some wear and tear on them as well. So I'm also being cognizant of that, of like, hey, people who are behind the scenes along with all these dates and events recognize what they're going through too.
Oh yeah, even just to set up that huge stage and break it down and then go to the next town, so much goes into this overall production of what we get to see on television. Now, I will say this, for a 2-night SummerSlam, the first ever, and although one night clearly, in my opinion, was better than the other, I still think they filled it out. I got my money's worth and my viewing time worth. I definitely had a fun time seeing it split the way they did. Of course, we probably could take some matches in, take some matches out. We could merge it together and maybe make one super long 4-hour, 5-hour event if we wanted to. Night 1, although it was a 3.5-hour show, it was only like 90 minutes of wrestling total. WWE has their way of pacing things. Yeah. The first hour only had 1 match, and then that first hour ended with the tag team match starting, in night one that is. So 20 minutes of wrestling in the first hour of SummerSlam night one. That's crazy when you think about it.
It is crazy.
I don't know, man, because like to me, it's like going to like a sporting event, literally. A sporting event technically is only supposed to be allocated time of what they play. Penalties, or infractions. You got ads, you got breaks. So then it stretches. It's going to stretch the game out. A 60-minute game is now stretched to 3 hours. So it's wrestling, but then they forget that E word, the entertainment. You're going to have these big guest hosts. They need to speak. They need to be seen. You also want to have little segments where character and dialogue is going on, might be a behind the scenes. If you really think about it, matches are really kind of like outside of the matches that they want to go. I know that AEW is very keen on.
Yeah.
But it could be either, it's an entertainment thing. A segment post-match might be longer than the actual match might have been. It's like you're getting that experience. The movies, you're going to the ads. The movie isn't that long. They're hitting you with, hey, get into your trailers and all that stuff. A movie is straightforward, but I've always been more a questioner of people saying, yo, such and such amount of wrestling. I'm like, bro, it's entertainment. Mind you, y'all got to go to the bathroom. You want to get something to eat. You want to be able, and that's just
popcorn break.
Yeah, it's just, spacing. It's just, to me, it's kind of been normal spacing of events, but also, with the advent of having ad revenue and having these ads and stuff come into play, now it's going to be a little bit more ad heavy. But in the society that we live in, what isn't? Our phones, music, damn near everything has ads now. That's just kind of the society that we're in. Not saying that it's okay, but just kind of saying it is what it is.
I agree with you 100%. It does feel like, it feels like a actual sporting event. You got timeouts. You got like the intermission where somebody come in and like juggling like bowling pins or something. You got to have those breaks to make sure you set up for like the next segment and give people a break to like, go to the bathroom or go get a hot dog or whatever they want to get, something like that. So I agree with you 100%. It makes sense. It looks like an actual sporting event and it's getting treated as such.
Yeah, and when you put it that way, that all makes sense. If you're in the arena or in the stadium when it's happening, you probably don't even notice how much time, just the way time flies. Like some people's interests might be longer than the actual match. It just depends on what they do within that time allotted to get it done. But we don't want people to be shorted on time if they could have had a longer match. Jade and Tiffany was like 7 minutes long. Could it have went 12? Could it have went 15? I think the time allotted was good enough for that particular match. And we'll get into that once we go over it. But, it's 2 nights, right? 2 nights, 6 matches per night. They could have made it 7, maybe. 8 might have been overkill. When you think about all the great talent that didn't make it onto either night.
Yeah.
Bailey didn't have a match, right?
Yeah.
Carmelo, Aleister Black, Damian Priest, a lot of talent. Stephanie Valkyria could have been her first, SummerSlam. But they'll take that into consideration next year. Going into next year, now that they've seen how this worked, how this flowed, and whatever revenue numbers they generate, they'll say, all right, next year, we know how we can totally stack the card. And now we can build up towards it. Because typically SummerSlam is also not a huge title change type of show. It's one of the big four, one of the original big four, but most happens on the Rumble and WrestleMania. They did good. So I'm with the 2 night SummerSlams. I don't want them to go overkill with every PLE, but certain ones that make sense if they can do it. And if it's going to be in a stadium, because stadium shows already have a big vibe to begin with. Okay, you want to give me 2 Money in the Banks in the stadium? I might be cool with that, maybe. I don't know. Royal Rumble? I don't know.
I don't think those events should be split up only because they're themed events. And when I say that, I mean like having a Rumble each night to me is kind of an overkill because you got wrestlers working. You got that Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. You got them working. And mind you, the Rumble isn't a normal match. It is very physical. Even if you're wrestling, it's still a lot. You got to mentally stay active depending on whatever the next day is. I just feel like those events in particular, SummerSlam, you can throw on a special match, SummerSlam, WrestleMania, but there's no theme to it outside of just being big grand events. But Royal Rumble has a theme to it. Money in the Bank has a theme to it. So I feel like just those type of events might be a little bit overkill having them split when you could just kind of compact it onto one night so that it's not overkill. Because I want to see another Money in the Bank or another Royal Rumble, especially knowing that it's like it's a women or men's. Mind you, we know with the women's, it's like, okay, well, we know people are gonna come. That's not even knocking that. But it's like, do I really, if they do women's first, am I really gonna care enough to be like, save it for the men's, or vice versa? I was just thinking more on the physicality for the workers, them going 4 straight days leading into those type of events.
Yeah.
I'm with you, man. Make certain events, 2 nights, but don't make them all 2 nights. It's just overdoing it. Like WrestleMania, SummerSlam, maybe Royal Rumble. Anything else, we're good with 1 night.
Yeah, well, now I'm thinking based off of what Madison just said about, the gimmicks, maybe that show should be the gimmick itself and have the 2 gimmick matches within that show, and then they can use the rest of that weekend to promote NXT, kind of like they did Money in the Bank weekend. They had a NXT show, then they have the big WWE show, or when they want to do Evolution with Saturday night's main event pack. Like they want to get all their brands in circulation on one weekend. There's multiple ways to do that versus a 2-night extravaganza. I think the SummerSlam name and brand is big enough to do that. And the WrestleMania brand clearly, of course, is big enough to do that. Like something like Survivor Series, I couldn't see them doing it 2 separate nights for 2 separate weekends. That wouldn't make sense. So
Royal Rumble, 1 night women's, 1 night men's.
Royal Rumble makes sense, but they're not known for stacking that card with matches on the undercard. So they would have to figure out how we want to work that out. When's the last time you've seen a title change on a Rumble? Not that they can't. You got enough talent to do it. It's just, it's not known for that. So if they want to do something for that weekend, something big for that weekend, that's option 1. Or just have the Rumble and an NXT event. Or just say, fuck it, let's give people some time to rest and relax. The Rumble is like probably the most important show of the year because it does so many different things, right?
It's the build up for WrestleMania.
Yeah, exactly. The season starts right then and there.
Yep.
That's when all the speculation and the fantasy booking comes into place. I digress. Back to where we started. SummerSlam, the first 2-night one ever. I think it was a successful venture. I'm not mad at it, and I'm okay with it going forward. So shout out to WWE for actually doing it right. I have my doubts. I have my concerns. Even the way they promoted the card leading up to it, I was worried because they had too many shows going on in between to where they didn't really put a lot of focus on heat building. But once the show got here, the card was fleshed out. I was like, all right, yeah, this is big. This is SummerSlam. I think they can make some improvements on how they build up to it next year.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yep.
Lessons learned. And maybe they need to work on their pacing of spacing out these shows. Even now, they got another pay-per-view in 3 weeks, the Clash in Paris.
But fellas, can I honestly say, I don't know how y'all feeling about this, but when I tell y'all I was at the edge of my seat on SummerSlam, I was like, man, this feels like being 15 again, watching wrestling. I'm excited. I'm jumping up like, yes, yes. Beautiful segments. Shout out to Paul Lewis, man, and the writing team.
No, I agree.
Yeah, they did their thing. They did their thing. I'll give it to them. Now it's all about the follow-up. They got a lot to follow up. So I guess let's go ahead and start that and segue into the matches. Let's start with night 1's main event. CM Punk versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. I called it. I said if this match is going on last, Punk's winning the title, especially if they wanted to do some type of cash-in or some type of shock and all. And that's exactly what they did. Seth came back on crutches, threw him away, cashed in on CM Punk, beat him down with the briefcase, hit him with the curb stomp, and that's our new world champion.
Crazy.
What are your thoughts on the CM Punk versus Gunther match? The first match, but probably not the last.
A beautiful match. Both put their work in. Shout out to CM Punk for keeping up with Gunther, man, because we all know Gunther is a beast. But I just knew CM is not going out clean. It's definitely going to be some kind of shenanigans. And I didn't know what was going to happen, but I just knew it was going to be something crazy. But I definitely thought Gunther was going to win. But man, when CM won, I jumped out of my couch. I was like, yes, yes, yes. Very exciting match. I definitely liked it. The twist at the end was just a cherry on top. Was not expecting that shit at all.
We talked about this weeks ago because you believe that Seth was really hurt.
Is he really hurt? I kept saying that during the show or whatever. Then when he came out, I said, there's no way that Seth just gonna come out and just talk some shit. Something is up. Then when he turned around and paused, I said, oh, shit.
Yeah, I did like that dramatic pause.
Me too.
You're just coming out here to do a little tease.
Well, I knew it wasn't just that, bro. I was like, something is up. And then when he turned around, I was like, oh, man, beautiful, man. Yeah. Beautiful.
Weeks ago when Gunther first got pushed down by Punk, before they even made it official, I was like, yo, that's the perfect setup right there for Seth Rollins to come in and cash in to ruin CM Punk's biggest moment, which is exactly what he did. Seth might have really been hurt, but we didn't know to what degree. It could have been just an owie. I need to be on the shelf for maybe a month, but I got enough pep in my step to come at least do a curb stomp without hurting myself. Although they're positioning it as the ruse of the century or whatever. We'll get more insight into that later on tonight on Raw. Either way, though, I think they executed it perfectly. Now,
beautifully.
Was that a waste of a Saturday night's main event match? That's up for debate. There's a lot of things to unpack there, but ultimately they did what we pretty much thought they were going to do, and they gave us enough of a smoke screen to make us think that possibly it wasn't going to happen. But it did happen, and it made sense. What grade would you give CM Punk versus Gunther?
A+.
Are you including the angle or just going by the match?
The full thing, everything together, A+. That I was at the edge of my seat. When Punk hit that go to sleep and Gunther was there like, I'm like, do it again. And then he did it again. I was like, hell yes, he's about to do it. And then he won. I jumped up out of the couch.
With that GTS spot at the end, that was pretty dope. I like the way they did that. All right, Madison Jade, let me get your thoughts on CM Punk versus Gunther.
Definitely great matchup. Exceeded my expectations. Shout out to Punk. This run in WWE, he won me over. 47 years old, being able to run with Gunther.
Yeah.
There is a beast. Just the story that these two were able to tell, very dope. I give it an A+. With the angle, I give it an A because I was shocked because I thought the kid was really hurt. VSOP, you said something that could be very interesting. He could be hurt, but just enough. Because Seth is that type of guy. Like, I can work it, on 75, 65%, and still do what I need to do. It's his willingness to sacrifice, if that is what it is. If he did 52 fake out, Kansas City Shuffle, I applaud. I think it brings so many different dynamics because how does Gunther feel? How does Punk feel? Rollins moving forward. Also, Braun Breaker, how's this going moving forward? Because it almost seemed like he was being pushed as kind of like next guy up since Seth is out. Not necessarily in the company, but just in that pecking order of that group, that faction. Somewhere down the line, are him and Seth going to bump heads for that belt? That's something that I know Braun has got his eyes set on at some point. But yeah, again, the match, A+. With the cashing in segment, I give that an A.
All right. Madison A, Gold A+. I'm going to give it an A as well. I thought the match was good. They told a good story in the ring. Punk being that old grizzled veteran, going against the Damager, the Destroyer, Gunther, hanging with him the entire time. I know some people wanted to criticize him being blown up, but what do you expect from a 47-year-old man fighting in the ass New York outdoors against the ring general? He should be looking like he's battling for dear life. And and it looked like a battle, like being outside in the heat. Their hair is wet, they're exhausted. Right? You see some of those chops that Gunther was giving CM Punk, like it told a great story in the ring. I enjoyed the match. The crowd was hot. The GTS with him still standing and dazed, just yelled, finish him, hit him with another one. They did their job perfectly.
Yes.
Shout out to Punk because he really genuinely looked overjoyed. Like that was a big win for him.
Yes.
And I like the way that he sold it because I'm like, all right, mind you, I'm not thinking of Seth coming in to cash in. This is finally his big moment, returning to the company, getting the belt. I'm like, okay, cool. And then Seth comes out. I'm just thinking like it's going to set up for like, all right, obviously they're going to probably do something. Mind you, he's out on the crutches or whatever. So I'm like, cool. That's a dope little segue up until Raw. But that cash in, that's why I'm like, it was so dope. But yeah, shout out to Punk. I'm not gonna lie, definitely the MVP, winning me over because he's been putting in a lot of pain. I sometimes forget how old this guy is. Being able to pull out those matches, pull out that CM Punk thing, man, when he needs to. So shout out to Punk, man.
His face when that music came on, I felt like he was just like, oh, shit. I felt that like I was him. I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
You survived Gunther, and here comes Seth. They did an excellent job. The story.
They did.
This feud, which is damn near 2 years now, still going. Like, I still want to see these two fight. I still want to see Sami get his revenge. Yeah. We were talking about Sami and Karrion, like, get this over with. Get this out of here. Seth and CM Punk just has so many legs.
Timeless.
One of the best feuds of the year for sure. So A for me, A+ for Gold. and an A from Madison J. Let's move on to the next match. But before we do that, if you're still rocking with us, make sure that you hit that like and subscribe button. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Hold on, because I'm going to do it again because I got the overlay in the damn way. If you're still rocking with us.
Overlay in the way. See what he did there?
There we go. So if you're still rocking with us, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Tell a friend to check us out. Dropping new videos every week, and we appreciate you being here with us on hip hop and wrestling. So let's move on to our next match. John Cena versus Cody Rhodes, part 2. It is a wrap. They just flipped the switch. Like when Andre became good again. He's just good now. I had a couple weeks to think about it. Thanks for waking me up, Cody. I realize I've been on some bull. Thanks to Rock and Travis Scott. I'm tired of doing this. I ain't trying to ruin wrestling. I'm just trying to have my legacy and make sure I'm remembered. With just 3 weeks to get to this point, I knew they were going to get to this point eventually. I was skeptical, but I was listening. If we want to do this hot turn right now, fine. Yeah. This heel turn hasn't been the best. Could have been better. Fans weren't buying it anyway. Hey, Cody, you asked for the street fight. That was the jolt I needed. And here we are, going into this match. I was just waiting for some type of swerve. We didn't get it, so I guess this is the legit point that we're at. The John Cena.
Yes, the face.
Yeah, he's a full baby face. The turn is over. And I'm actually glad that we got this John Cena in this match, because this match was incredible, if you ask me. However, I want to get both of your thoughts on the turn back face. And we knew it was going to happen, but are you okay with the way that they did it? And if so, why? Start with you, Gold.
I'm definitely okay with it. If you ask me, it was brilliant. John Cena, like, going back to what I said on the last episode, it don't matter if he's heel or babyface, he's still gonna sell. I think he's just a natural babyface. That pop he got last night when he came out, it gave me chills. I was like, this feels like when he was like in his prime, like, because everybody was wondering, is it like a real thing? And the screen was black and it just said John Cena. And then when the came out colorful, like, I was like, oh, he's like back for real. You said it too. You was like, if he runs to the ring, we know he's really back. That's exactly what he did. Man, shout out to John Cena. Hats off, sir. Beautiful move.
What grade would you give the past 5 months of heel Cena?
A+. He sold it. He sold it beautifully. He was very calculated with his words. His promos was on point. If you were able to talk to an audience and they still cheer you on, that lets you know you got something. We would talk to the audience like, yo, y'all bite anything. And that's exactly what it was doing. And that one part where he called the kid out, he's like, he had on the John Cena shirt and the hat.
Right.
Beautiful.
5 months turned around in a 10-minute segment.
John Cena, man, that lets you know what kind of pull he got. He just got it, man.
Yeah, I think the fans were just like, man, stop playing and just come on back. We're glad we saw you give it a try, but come on back. You're getting ready to leave us. This is the last time that people were going to see John Cena in New Jersey, New York. I didn't think the fans were going to steer towards Cody. I thought it was going to be a pro-Cena crowd anyway, had he been heel or face. As we saw that with the reactions that Cody was getting, which, by the way, great job Cody selling those moments where he was kind of conflicted. Great storytelling, but we're going to get to the match in a second. Madison J., your thoughts on Cena turning back face in 10 minutes?
I don't like how fast they did it because there was a lot of life in there. But also at the same time, if you really want to be real about it, they've already dropped nuances of him being conflicted and like saying it without saying it. So it's not just like it came out anywhere. It's like, nah, the past month, he's been a little slightly conflicted, maybe 2 months, but he's been like, what am I doing? But still going with the cause or whatever. I thought possibly they could have stretched it out maybe a little bit more, but those dates are closing down and we got to move now. I'm not mad at it, just to have it official. I was like, oh, they're really doing it. I'm not mad at it. I just thought possibly could have been a little bit slow cooked, maybe one more event, more building up to a face turn. But yeah, I'm not mad at all at it.
What would you grade the John Cena heel experiment?
Probably a B minus. B minus, teetering between C plus and B minus.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that because they tried. The expectations were high. The lack of follow-up from The Rock, not being at WrestleMania, the whole Travis Scott thing, kind of distracting, taken away from it. A lot of different factors, but I thought when John Cena was going to ultimately turn back face, which we knew he was going to do, he might have been placed with this in a scenario where he had to make a moral judgment, whether it was to save somebody or do something. Instead, he's like, I went home, I thought about it, and I'm back. He gave that promo with so much conviction, like only he can, to where I did believe him. But I still had enough skepticism in the tank to say what's going to happen at SummerSlam in the main event. Kudos to them for doing that. If this is where we're at for the rest of this tour, I'm cool with it. We can say that we saw Cena as a heel. He tried to be as dastardly as possible. He talked as much as possible. Hustle, loyalty, and respect never died, I guess. So let's go ahead and get to the match itself. I thought the match was fantastic, but Gold, let me get your opinion on Cena versus Cody. What a main event.
Definitely a great main event. I thought it was a fantastic match. Both of these fellas left it all in the ring. And you could tell people was in the middle because we all thought that this was going to be where Cody turned heel. And he didn't. They'll let you know that they're good at what they do as far as writing. I super thought Cody was going to turn heel. Cena to like have everybody back on his side that quick after 5 months being a heel and then just having that one segment on SmackDown, he's a babyface again. I was like, Cody ain't rocking with that shit. Cody definitely going to turn heel. He's going to do some shit to make everybody mad at him. But for Cody to win the way he did, it was just beautiful. I ain't even gonna front. I got a little emotional during this match. It was just so beautifully did. So A+, beautiful match, fellas.
Right. Cody gave him that power driver, and then the fans were chanting, "You can't do that." Did y'all hear that part? They've made a power driver so exclusive.
I love it too. Yes, it's dangerous as fuck. Yeah, I love it.
I like the way to protect that move. But all right, Madison J, your thoughts on Cena versus Cody 2?
Great matchup. Two superb talents. Of course, one of the GOATs, John Cena, going up against one of the up-and-coming GOATs with Cody. Just adding on, it was dope because this was kind of the matchup that, without the shenanigans at WrestleMania, they topped that match to me. Stellar work. Shout out to Cena coming in, doing what he's doing at the age that he's moving. You know, definitely salute that. Salute to Cody always again. He's one of those talents, working his ass off. Great matchup. I did not think Cody was going to come out with the belt, though. Definitely. Dope look for Cody. Adding on to the legacy, adding on to the resume while he's here in WWE.
I wasn't expecting Cody to walk out with the belt either, but the match told the story to where it made sense. It was a good win. They gave each other everything that they had. Violence, illegal moves, foreign objects, conflict. What's it going to take to keep Cena down? What's it going to take to keep Cody down? It told a great story. I don't think I could ask for a better match between these two. This is the match that I wish we would have had at WrestleMania. They definitely made up for that in spades. So, Mr. Madison J, what is your official grade for Cena Cody 2?
A.
All right, so Madison gives Cena versus Cody an A. I'm going to give Cena Cody 2 an A+. The match was damn near perfect. I'm actually going to watch it again a little bit later today while I'm on the treadmill.
The Avalanche attitude adjustment and then the triple crossroads, them both kicking out of this shit. I'm like, oh man. I definitely thought either one of them was going to win. I was like, it's over. And then when they kicked out, I'm like, oh shit. They feeling it. They feeling it, man. Like this is, and that pulled me in even more. And I was just like, damn, who the fuck is going to win?
Kicking out the triple crossroads, that was big.
Yeah.
Cena was just doing his thing, man. Some of his matches didn't look so great in the past few months, but this one, it was like, as Michael Cole would say, vintage Cena.
Yes.
So I gave Cena Cody A+, Gold A+, Madison A. After the match, Cody got the belt. They embraced. John Cena said some kind words to send them off. Cody got to celebrate with the title. And then we had the re-debut of Brock Lesnar to end the show. So why we didn't get a shocker and shenanigans? We got a shocking return. We're not going to talk about that just yet. We're going to save that for the end of the show. We're going to go ahead and go to the next match. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Tell a friend to tell a friend. The Women's World Championship, Naomi versus Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley in a triple threat. And I thought this match was dope. This combination of these three. I think Io and Rhea, they just got an incredible chemistry. You add Naomi to the mix or any third party to the mix is good. Naomi came out with her father playing guitar. I thought that was a very dope moment. Very good to see that. But other than that, Naomi walked out still world champion, like I predicted, and left Rhea speechless because she almost had that pin. She almost finally got that 1-2-3 over Io Sky, but not yet. I think those two are WrestleMania bound in a one-on-one match to end that feud, Rhea and Io. That's what I gathered from the way this match ended. Shout out to Naomi, still the champ. We all predicted Naomi, so happy about that prediction. Tell me what you thought about the match.
I love the match. I like the transition in certain spots, but the only thing I didn't like was the finish. I'm like, a roll-up pin. It's like, come on. SummerSlam.
With the tights, though.
With the tights, you want feeling the roll-up? That's heel one-on-one right there.
I get it, but it's too predictable. My personal opinion. It's like, I would have liked to see her, like, win a different way. I mean, but I know that's heel one-on-one, but like I said, that being said, it's just too predictable. I just would have liked to have seen a different finish. But altogether, I say a B.
You giving it a B?
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to like triple threats, where it's like two faces and one heel, you could definitely say like a roll up or just stealing a pin. Somebody hits the finisher, you throw that other person out and then you steal the pin. But either way, the heel most likely 97.5% of the time steals the victory if the heel is winning. So I just knew that Naomi was going to escape with the title, not necessarily defend it definitively. But once she gets that one-on-one with either one of these ladies, because that's going to happen at some point after she makes it through Stephanie, we'll get that split-legged moonsault or whatever hold that she wants to put her opponent in to get that victory. We're going to get that. But a triple threat like this, I wasn't surprised at the finish. I could understand why you would want to see something a little bit different. So that does make sense to me. So you're giving it a B. All right, Madison, your thoughts on Io Sky, Rhea Ripley versus the Women's World Champion, Naomi.
Thought it was a really good matchup. Rhea and Io, you put them in the mix of any type of situation, it's going to be some type of magic having a worker, very high, solid worker such as Naomi, having her on deck, having her coming up, obviously as the champion, having her come in. I mean, Triple H made a statement that Naomi is the most improved. And I wholeheartedly agree because Naomi has put in a lot of work in her heel run. And, mind you, we all predicted that she will, walk out with that, not knowing how that would have happened. But I just thought it was really smart of her to capitalize, grabbing up Rhea. After that, coming down with Io, that was crazy. I could see them taking that to WrestleMania as well. But overall, the match, I'm like teetering in between B+, A-, but I'll go A- though.
All right, Madison, you're giving A- to this particular match. All right, I'm not mad at that at all. I can't point out anything wrong with the match. Was it better than the WrestleMania triple threat with Bianca? No. But was it up there? Mm-hmm. Definitely, and I would have gave that WrestleMania match an A+. I'm gonna give this one an A. They did their thing. So far, 3 matches down, they're ranking pretty high. Nothing has sucked yet. We'll find out sooner than we think. Solo Sikoa escaped the cage, just like I predicted, with the United States Championship against Jacob Fatu last night in a fun cage match. It was fun.
Yeah.
They had on their working shoes. They was in there brawling, but the shenanigans ensued just like we thought they were going to happen. And we also got that moonsault off the top of the cage. I told you that was happening, but I was hoping that was going to be in the form of what led to victory. Instead, it was just a spot to take out the geeks. Jacob Fatu versus Solo Sikoa in the cage. Gold, what did you think of this matchup?
I definitely give it a big fan of Jacob and new fan of Solo Sikoa. I like how he talks now and he's actually being funny. And I think that's what's always missing in the formula as far as like this character development, like them being able to be themselves and instead of to follow like a certain criteria of like how to be. You definitely got to be a character, but when you're able to incorporate parts of yourself into a character, it's more natural. And I think Solo Sikoa is in his bag right now. I can't believe I'm a Solo Sikoa fan now, which I am. And it was a good match and they both showed up and showed out. Thank you, gentlemen. And I'm looking forward to get that belt. I'm sticking to my story, son.
Oh, yeet.
Jim, get that belt. I cannot wait.
I'm not going to say anything in regards to that. I'm actually going to put Gold on suspension from speaking of Jimmy Uso for the remainder of the year. Because his damn pipe dream is not coming true anytime soon. He just got geeked out
Bro,
with Tonga the other night.
I know. I was like, shh, I'm gonna hear about this.
He got geeked out. I mean, granted, the match went longer than it should, but he is that stepping stone.
No, man.
Yeah, he's that guy. Like, you gotta get somebody over. Let's just put him through Jimmy. JC, put him through Jimmy. Tamatonga, put him through Jimmy. Talatonga, put him through Jimmy. You know, like,
now.
Jimmy in that freezer, man. He's in that freezer. Mr. Madison J, your thoughts on the match?
Good brawl. You know what I mean? Good brawl. I thought it was okay. I just didn't like the ending because I'm like, what the hell's the point of the cage if people are gonna
get in?
Sometimes it works, but this time it was kind of pointless because it was the writings on the wall. Such a huge numbers game in terms of the MFTs against Solo / maybe Jimmy. I was just a little disappointed with that. Other than that, I thought it was dope. This dude, Jacob Fatu, that moonsault at the end, insane. How did you not break a bone, or how did you not injure? Like, how? But yeah, man, Solo, he's clicking on all cylinders right now. This just adds to his momentum and the MFTs because they're going to utilize that pushing forward on SmackDown. But yeah, I will have to give the match, though. I'm going to give it a B-.
All right. A B- because of the fact that they had all the shenanigans of the running.
Absolutely, that were unnecessary. They didn't add to the match because it could have just been a solid, straight up one-on-one brawl. Have it finish out and then have MFT, all that. But being a part of the actual ending of the matchup, I didn't really like that. So yeah, B-.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm gonna give it a B+. I was entertained by the match. I am gonna take away points because of shenanigans. I don't know if this feud is over. It seems as if it's not. Oh. So what's next? Bloodline rules, tribal combat? Like, what's next for Solo and Jacob for these guys to move on to something else? Gold, you first.
Big Jimbo getting that title.
Okay, take the camera off. Take the camera back.
That's what goddamn happening. Hell yeah. Big Jimbo. Big Jimbo. He gonna have on some crispy ass ones, man. His outfit gonna be dope. I don't know what PLE is gonna be. It's gonna be a PLE. Big Jimbo gonna get that belt off of him, bro. I'm telling you. It's gonna be on some big brother humbling you. I'm your big brother. Remember that.
I hope this doesn't sound crazy. I think what Jim needs, switch up the attire.
The attire does look a little. I think he's hiding. Of course he's not in as shape as Jay, but I think that's kind of like what it is. He kind of like want to stand out. He don't want to look just like his brother. They're trying to be different.
Like, what's wrestling? Bring some of that throwback Uso look.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you ain't got a matte face paint or anything, but
yeah, like
either the shorts in terms of the cutoff shorts, not the ones now, but like, you know, the ones that him and Jay used to wear.
Yeah.
Or just with the regular draws singlet, you know what I mean? Because it doesn't look superstarish to me. And that's just the nature of the beast. So when it's like, it looks fun, it's cool, but it doesn't carry that.
Yeah, don't like something that somebody like, you know, who's going to be a super... I get what you're saying. And that's what Nick said too. Nick said, and that was what we was laughing about. It was like Nick called out like, you know, Jimmy's outfits. He was like, yo, they just don't look like somebody that you could take seriously.
You know what I mean? I like Nick's thinking because that's just kind of how I felt. And matter of fact, Triple H broke it down when he's, you know, changing from when he was a DX Triple H to the game, going from the tights to great wrestling draws, you know. Mind you, that's something that became a part of the signature. I just think that's something that Jimmy most definitely needs to give him a new spark, give him that new energy. Mind you, you know, if it is something in terms of an incentive based of getting him in the gym, get active, but personally, I will want to see a difference in the attire because he's got something there. It's just something as simple as a haircut.
Yeah.
You know? It's the little things that are able to get you to really stand out and to separate yourself.
I agree with you 100%.
Jimmy's attire, I just figured that maybe he was a little bit chunkier than his brother, possibly.
Yeah.
That's why.
That's trying to hide it.
Yeah. Hell, Fatu was much leaner last year when he debuted than he is now.
Yeah. He's been putting in work.
Yeah. Well, he's been putting in work at catering. He's been eating.
Oh, you talking about Jacob?
Jacob Fatu.
You think he got chubbier?
Yeah, for sure. Look at him right now in this picture. He ain't that lean. He don't even take his shirt off anymore.
Yeah, you're right.
When he debuted last year, he was leaner. He's not as big as he was when he was in MLW. Like, he used to be big. Umaga big.
I mean, you know why though? He's touching a little bit more cheese, man.
It's a good look to have him wear it to also push the merch.
Yeah, he makes it work. He's still exciting.
Right.
I ain't saying the man let himself go.
Definitely something that you noticed though.
He's making that WWE money now, right? So why not eat?
Right.
Yeah, so Jimmy, maybe the look, his music's not as hype as Jay's. It's cool though.
No.
Probably needs some more music. He just needs to win. He needs some wins. He's been stuck with bloodline business for too long, and he just needs something new. I don't think they're going to put him and Jay back together for tag titles, although that would be fun.
Jay's gone.
Jay's out of here.
He's in another orbit now. For nostalgic sake, they could do that, but just in terms of, hey, let's put y'all back together, honestly would be a regression.
I agree.
Jay is there. He's the man. One of the guys.
I still got hope. I think he's going to get that U.S. title. It's just win.
Not
right now, but they just got to do some work to build him back up. But I'm not against it. But I am going to put you on suspension at some point, sir, if you keep coming up here telling these fibs. The snippet that I put up was talking about Jimmy on the YouTube channel on the shorts. I got a lot of hits. A lot of people watched that one. That conversation we had about Jimmy. So, I mean, people care. People care.
Yeah, they want to see him win, bro. I'm telling you, because Jimmy, I think he's just one of those ones too, bro. You know, just like his brother. Like I said, I think he can talk. I think he's charismatic. And I think if you get that title, man, it's only going to amplify. It'll amplify times.
We will find out, but I definitely want them to have something else to do. Jacob, there's a huge roster of untouched, untapped talent for Jacob to feud with. More intense people for Jacob to get involved with, and then Solo as well.
Or Rock.
All right, so we got a B- from Madison. We got an A from Gold, and I'm going to give it a B+ for this cage match. I do want this feud to be over, but it was entertaining to see these two in the cage. Let's move on to Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria in a no DQ barn burner of a match. These two work amazingly well together, and I was highly entertained with their no DQ match. It was all over the place. Outside the ring, inside the ring. We had the whole zip tie fiasco, kendo sticks, of course. And, you know, with all the no DQ matches on this show, they did a good job of separating themselves from each other when nothing really felt redundant.
Right, I agree.
So, yeah, I predicted that Becky Lynch was going to slip out of there with the title, and she did.
You're 3 for 3, sir. Shout out, man. It's 3 for 3.
Becky Lynch is the IC Women's Champion. She's building that title up to whoever's going to take it off of her. So I'll give her props there. She did a great job. We had some inadvertent interference from Bayley. So I'm glad to see that Bayley has something to do on the card. And shout out to Bayley's outfit. She wore it very well. But what did you think about this match?
B+.
B+.
I'm being petty because I wanted Lyra to win.
He was riding hard for Lyra.
Being petty as fuck. Becky's doing her job because I don't like her as a heel. But if she's evoking some kind of emotion, you know, she's doing it right. Right?
There you go.
But I'm Team Lyra all day. Get the belt soon, Lyra. Let's stop fucking playing.
As we see, Lyra and Bayley are probably going to have some type of confrontation tonight.
Oh, yeah.
This feud, this three-way feud is far from over. I'm with you. Madison J., what did you think about this no DQ match?
I thought it was a really good matchup. I like the matchup with Lyra and Becky. Like you said, great chemistry. I think Lyra is a prodigy of Becky, so that definitely makes sense. I think it's been one of the women's feuds of the year. Mm-hmm. I definitely will say that each match has been a level up, or at least leveling up each other going into the next matchup. Just that at the end, I was like, you know, it could have easily just been what it was. You know, weapons would have done the job easily, but I guess you throw that Bayley element in there. That's what it is. I just thought it was kind of the cheap way to go out, but I think the match in itself still was very good. You know what I mean? Damn near great. So I am going to give it a B+.
All right, B+. Yeah, they did good. I'm going to give it an A, only because I love watching these two work together. Great match, great chemistry. I'm not tired of this feud just yet. It looks like we're going to be stuck with these three for maybe another month or two. But at some point, Lyra's going to get built up because she can't challenge for the IC title anymore. Keep that in mind. She can't touch it. As long as Becky got it, she can't challenge for it. So eventually we got to get Lyra in the mix with Io, and then get Lyra in the mix with Rhea and get the rub from those two. Lyra's doing good. She's on the come up, but she's still got some ways to go to get to the level of the top dogs. What are you thinking, Madison J?
I think I've seen this only once in wrestling. I can't remember exactly, but the wrestler They had a stipulation, couldn't challenge for a title shot. What they did was cost the champion the title and possibly made it into a three-way for the title with the new champion. The person who is banned from a title shot, they just find a way to weasel in. So it's like Lyra could easily cost Becky the title and then challenge the champion, whoever that is, and make it
Bailey.
Mind you, because it just kind of writes itself. So Bailey gets a title shot. Lyra's like, you cost me my shots. Be righteous and give me a title shot. They can run it that way. So I think Lyra's not out of that title picture just yet.
I'm with you on that one.
And the way that I predicted it, though, is this went opposite, because I thought that Bailey was going to come in. And we go back to the previous episode.
Right.
I thought Bailey was going to help a win and then say, hey, since I helped you, let me get a title shot. But it backfired. If Bailey gets that title, I was like, hey, you caused me my title shot, so I need me a shot.
Yes, and something tells me that Bailey is going to actually get that title off of Becky.
Me too. It makes sense now.
Well, that's where I see it going. But hey, shout out to all these ladies doing a great job with this particular feud. Carried it.
Ladies.
Yeah.
Great job.
Carrying it past the summer into the fall. We'll see what they do. But before we move on to the next match, if you are still checking us out, rocking with us, make sure that you hit that like and subscribe button. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Spread the word to all your wrestling peers to bring them right here at the Hip Hop and Wrestling YouTube channel. I'm led to believe that Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross as a feud should be, and hopefully done at this moment, as Sami Zayn definitively defeated Karrion Kross. He had an opportunity to do some more damage with a lead pipe. He chose not to. Instead, explode her into the turnbuckle, haluva kick, 1, 2, 3. It's a wrap. Whatever Sami is gearing for next, I know they're doing some shows in Montreal soon. Possibly that might be his moment to go for the world title against Seth. Who knows? The match itself, it was fine. But I want to get your thoughts, Gold, on Sami versus Karrion Kross at SummerSlam.
Cause it's a filler.
Come on now.
Yeah.
I watched. I went and got a snack, went to the bathroom. It was on. The Sami won. I was like, cool. What's next? See?
What was great? See, senor.
Heavy.
All right, Madison J, your thoughts?
Filler match.
Definitely a filler night. Madison J.
Something I could have lived with on Raw. No knock to Sami, no knock to Karrion. It just was, there were no heavy implications. It wasn't a street fight, sell your soul match, no implications. It was a regular, they didn't even, a grudge, Didn't even advertise it as a grudge match, Like, hey. But overall, there's been rumblings that Karrion possibly leaving, possible contract talks or sitting out period. But the build-up for that, the payout was ass.
Yeah.
I thought Sami would have turned, or like there was going to be something of some form of interest, and there was none. Overall, Sami, if he takes from this feud, like, okay, clean cut, going about it the righteous way, I think that could be dope. Because other than that, what did you do this for? So, when I give it a C.
All right. The match was a TV match. The feud was a TV feud. No clear understanding on what the whole purpose or end game was. Again, Karrion Kross is a talent with a good look. He can talk. He wrestles as if he's 6'7" or some shit. He has a slow plotting style like old school Triple H. I don't really like his style. He could be more exciting. His style doesn't match his character.
I agree with you.
But the match was fine. I'm ready for it to be over. I'm gonna give it a C as well. That's not chocolate, that's doo-doo, baby. I ain't gonna roll with this one.
That's doo-doo, baby. That's doo-doo, baby. Straight up.
I hope this feud is over. Maybe Karrion Kross should go to NXT and roll down there or something.
Or go to SmackDown and feud with Aleister Black. Him and Aleister.
Team up. Yeah. Do something.
Come on, baby, do something, please.
Let's get Karrion Kross in something interesting, at least by the end of the year, if he's going to stick around.
Yeah.
He's getting good talent, great entrance. He can talk. They're just not doing them right. Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill. I believe two of us Myself and Madison J predicted Tiffany Stratton was going to walk out of there with the championship. That's exactly what she did. Although there was almost a pin when Jade got Tiffany rolled up after hitting the Jade, and Tiffany's feet got caught in the ropes. A clever way. Two things I've noticed that they're doing to make it seem as if someone's going to win is they'll hit the move, roll them up, but roll them up a little bit too much of a rotation to where their shoulders are not down or their feet might be in the rope so they can't get the pin there. So it's like, you almost had it. The other one would be you hit the move and the person rolls out before you can grab them, get the pin. Another way of slipping on a banana peel.
Right.
Match itself about 7 to 8 minutes. Not long. I think they did good with the time that they had. Other than that, you predicted Jade to win. This wasn't her time. But what was your thoughts on the match?
I'm not even gonna front, man. I give this shit a strong ass C, bro. A very strong C. And that one particular part you was talking about when she hit the Jaded, you can see her pull Tiffany to put her leg on the rope. Go back and watch it. You can see her like, put your foot on the rope. Like,
rookie mistake.
Come on, man. She's still filling it out. Jade, I love you, but she's still learning and growing. That part, I was just like, come on, man.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, baby.
Yeah.
A strong C, man. Strong C.
So would that lean you towards a C+?
I'll say a C+.
Mr. Madison J, your thoughts on Tiffany Stratton retaining her title against Jade Cargill?
I kind of said this. I said there's really no strong leadership in that matchup in terms of the dance partner. Looked like it was a little clustered. I'm not knocking them. The match went exactly how I figured that it probably would. I think Jade's still good. It's her first singles loss in WWE. She's good. You know what I mean? Tiffany just keeps her momentum going. Jade, when she does win that title, it will be a big moment.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like Jade's booking. She doesn't need to be super technical or anything like that. She's a powerhouse. Just give me powerhouse. Powerhouse maneuvers within her skill set.
Right.
Or at least something that's a positive. Very dope powerhouse, like a China. To me, that's why it hasn't clicked, because in terms of the move set, it's almost a hesitance because it's not really who she is. That's what I've gotten in the sense of deeper into her run. I just think if she can really break out of the shell, maybe going heel, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't really clicked where I'm like, she definitely deserves that belt. I think when she goes to the dark side, that may bring out a different element and really showcase why Jade was such a big grab for WWE. I'm going to give the overall match, I'm going to give that a C as well.
All right. When she does turn heel, and she will at some point in her tenure, we'll see a lot more personality, which would be great for her in connecting with the fans. However, Kevin Nash has been like working with Raquel Rodriguez or giving some advice to her to wrestle like a big woman. And so far, it's looked good. She's been looking great.
You can tell. She looks like Big Daddy Cool Diesel, the female version. Come on, the walk, the swag is wild.
So I think maybe Jade needs to take that same approach and work as a big woman, a big athletic woman. Choke slams, power bombs, throwing people around. Not too technical, break out something athletically impressive. For the most part, stay grounded and throw these little around.
We love you, Jade.
We're still rocking with you, Jade. We know your time is coming, but this wasn't it. So what do you think is next for Tiffany Stratton? What's her trajectory looking like? Gold, any opinion there?
Sky's the limit. Sky's the limit because Tiffany just got it. Tiffany's very athletic. Tiffany has the look. She has charisma. She knows how to talk. As far as an opponent, it's going to be tough to call. I wouldn't mind.
Let me see if you're going to say who I think.
Her and Bianca? No?
Who were you thinking?
Yeah, who are you thinking? I'm thinking now, too.
Well, nothing crazy, but somebody who I think would be,
Julie?
Not because, Julie is the U.S. champion. I was going to say Chelsea Green as a challenger.
Okay.
I would like to see that.
Yeah, a heel challenger. Chelsea Green.
Yeah.
Entertaining.
Yeah.
Secret Harvest.
Both can talk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, both can talk. Because Clash in Paris is next. So,
right.
Andrew, it's going to be big, but not in terms of the pecking order. If they're going to get somebody to have Tiffany go over on, why not Chelsea? Because she's still active to me, even without the U.S. title. She's still been super active, having her face in the conversation. So I think that would just kind of be dope to have her step up to test Tiffany next.
While Tiffany's run as champion has not been the most thrilling, he defended it successfully against Charlotte at WrestleMania. Now she's defended it successfully against Jade at SummerSlam.
Yep.
2 major PLEs.
Yeah.
It has been Tiffy time. less than 25 years old. Like, she got all the time in the world. Barring injury, she's going to be good. No idea what Bianca's timetable is to come back. I am looking forward to those two mixing it up. Although they have wrestled each other, but not on this level in terms of a title at stake.
Exactly. It's going to be turned up a little bit.
So Gold, you're a C+ on Tiffany Stratton versus Jade. Madison, you are a C. And I am going to go with a C as well. The match just wasn't a match that I was really looking forward to. I wasn't hyped for it. Of course, hyped to see Jade win Queen in the Ring.
Yeah.
I think with Naomi Danger being removed, it took away some of the steam, some of the heat. And the build-up didn't really have much heat when you got a face versus face type of matchup. So they did what they could do. It wasn't a bad match, but it wasn't stellar compared to other matches that were on the show. So I'll give it a C, which is not horrible. It's not bad, it's just
straight like that.
All right.
Did you watch the Jade Cargill match?
All right. Let's go to the TLC match. This match was ridiculously off the charts, crazy. Everything I expected, everything I wanted, even a table bump with Candice LeRae. I'm completely satisfied with it. I was hoping that Street Profits would have came out on top, and unfortunately they did. And I guess they see something in pushing the Wyatt Six still, so ultimately with whoever would have won, there was no loser. Ultimately, everybody won who was in the arena and watching at home, or in the stadium and watching at home. It was a great match. I'm giving this bad boy an A+. Really good match. Axiom, he did that Spanish fly on Angelo Dawkins. I was so worried that both of these were going to break their legs.
We're going to die.
They had the four corners or whatever with the tables. That spot was dope. But they should have put that table in the ramp so these guys could have landed better, because had Axiom or Angelo Dawkins hit their legs on that damn barricade, could have got snapped back really something awful.
Absolutely.
The spot was dope, but I was just looking at their legs like, you're going to break your legs doing this shit.
What legs?
I legit said, oh my God, when they did that, bro. I said, oh my God, stood up. It was just too close.
Yeah.
It was too close. Kudos to them for like coming out okay.
Gold, what did you think about the match? We talked about the spot, but the match itself.
A+. A+. That Spanish fly was breathtaking. I was scared like I was doing this. It was just so close. Like if that would have been an inch or two one way, like you said, they would have broke their legs. So, shout out to them for being courageous and putting on. They're trying to make sure people are entertained.
Got an A+ from Gold. Mr. Madison J., what was your thoughts on the SummerSlam TLC match?
I thought it was a breathtaking matchup. You had a lot of exciting players. Rey Fenix, even though I don't think it was a breakout, it was just in terms of something that he can excel in and really show his ass. This combination with him and Andrade, even though I had to hit the Tony Ayo meme, like, come on, man, what are we doing? Why are you just throwing these together? Even going back to what we were talking about with Kross and Aleister Black and a potential tag team, sometimes that tag team, out of unexpectancy, shout out Alexa and Charlotte. That combination, that mixture can bring out something in you, and that helps you out on your whatever your next journey is. Brian Pillman and Stunning Steve creating the Hollywood Blondes, giving them a whole shock, a new boost in their careers. Something like that has done wonders, I think, for Andrade and Rey Fenix. You got DIY, Profits, Wyatt. You had some crazy talent in this matchup, and obviously having a match like that was going to be something to showcase a lot of their talents. I was surprised by the Wyatts coming out. Not mad, not shocked. I think that's just very dope. Keep their thing going. I will say this, though. I thought it was overkill to have a TLC match post SmackDown of WrestleMania and then to have one here. Didn't breathe. I'm not knocking the talent. They exceeded expectations. But in the grand scheme, maybe if it was like a scramble, taking it back to the scramble days, just something outside of TLC. But I get it. Being able to have all these teams and players showcase was dope within itself. My grading for the match is affected because, like I said, the match didn't hit as hard to me because we just saw one a few months ago. I will give the match, I'm going to have to give it a B.
All right. I love TLC matches. And yeah, that's a great point. Having two within a 6-month span for a match that this special, this exclusive, you can't spam TLC matches. However, I think Nick Aldis not being able to control his tag division, saying this is the only way that we can get this done. Made sense to me, just something to get hyped for this particular card. They delivered. Candice LeRae went through the tables. So many crazy spots.
Looks dangerous.
Just look crazy.
Look hurt. Taking that spot.
Gargano giving her the thumbs up. So yeah, I'm gonna give it an A+ because I just thought the match was dope. But I'm with you. No more TLCs for the rest of the calendar year. Save the next one for maybe next year's SummerSlam if you want to make it an annual SummerSlam tradition.
Also, shout out to the SmackDown tag division because it's on fire. It's definitely doing special things. It's a lot going on over there. I hope the division keeps rising.
Why do y'all think the SmackDown tag team division is popping more than Raw?
That's a good
Very strange
question because all the episodes we've done where we completely shat all over the tag division, I think we were talking about Raw way more than we were talking about SmackDown.
Yeah.
I would like to answer that. Going back to SmackDown and Raw. Raw is the flagship. SmackDown has always carried itself as kind of like we're a premiere, but their writing staff at SmackDown has always, to me, been different with less restrictions. Like I said, Raw is the flagship, so they have a little bit more that they're trying to plug in and stuff like that. Cool. But then SmackDown has always been more lax, even going back to the initial draft and brand split. SmackDown during the pandemic with Roman, with the work he was doing. And then also little pockets of where SmackDown carried the company a little bit. And I think SmackDown has a bit more room to play with in terms of being able to explore and with the tag team division. They've got that space. They've got people over there who are obviously like, nah, let's get the teams over here and let's get some things going for them. Is it the best of things? Not always, but I mean, at least like when people obviously were talking about tag teams missing out on WrestleMania this year, and then just WWE overall not putting an emphasis on tag team wrestling, but it's like, all right, bet. I guess we hear you, you know what I mean? And this felt like here you go. We know you guys love the fast-paced action with TLC, the tag teams involved. I think everybody was able to showcase themselves and put you on about the teams if you're not already in tune.
The Garzas weren't in this match. Could have been a 7-way TLC match, but you add the Garzas, this is the entire tag division right here in front of us. And the Raw division is actually smaller. And maybe they could benefit from actually pairing up some other talent that doesn't have much going on. Austin Theory and Grayson Waller were floating backstage for months before Austin Theory, I believe he's hurt at the moment or something, but before he got off TV, Ludwig could have been paired up with somebody. I think tag teams are a great way to pair up single stars. I'd much rather see Rey Fenix with his brother Penta and bring back the Lucha Brothers, which I think at some point they will. But
it's coming.
Rey Fenix with Andrade, their styles work together, especially when they do their vignettes together, rocking the suits, representing their culture. Another thing I noticed was how the Street Profits towered over other teams. Compared to the rest of the teams, it looked like giants. And Street Profits are like maybe 6'2", 6'3", maybe 6'4" guys. So the tag team division of SmackDown is a lot more action-packed. It's essentially cruiserweights going against each other, right? So these matches are all action, fast, quick, faster than Nathan Frazier, like it's Speedy Gonzalez. Whereas War Raiders are slow and powerful. New Day in the middle, if you will. Judgment Day, those could be considered two cruiserweight types of talents. LWO, same thing, cruiserweight, high energy. They just lose a lot. They got some rehab to do. They got to get out the freezer. But
I'm gonna say, bring the Profits back to Raw.
If they bring the Profits back to Raw, they were to do some swapping of some teams. They still need to have at least 6 solid teams on Raw and 6 solid on SmackDown. I think it's unnecessary for them to have 2 pairs of tag titles. The women don't need it. I don't think the men need it either. And that way these guys can go across shows and just bring the excitement in the form of their match. Ultimately, I don't want them to use the tag titles as a stepping stone for some other singles feud, like Alexa and Charlotte. I don't want Roman to get the tag titles with Jade just to progress a storyline that has nothing to do with them being an official tag team. You don't come out together, you're just 2 solo stars teaming together. I'm not gonna go on a tag team rant today. We'll see what they do on Raw with their division. I gave it an A+, Gold, you gave it an A+, Madison, you gave it a B. We're rocking with that. Dominik Mysterio successfully defended his Intercontinental Championship against the OG legend AJ Styles with the help of some shoe business, but he still got the victory, still got the dub. But also, where they placed this match was kind of like the cool down segment before the main event, but yet the match still has some good heat. So I enjoyed that. But
It's perfect.
yeah, so that just goes to show the performance that we had in front of us. The crowd still with them. So, what was your thoughts on Dom versus AJ?
A+.
A+.
He's down. Very entertaining. I love how they both showed respect to Eddie and his legacy. He did the chair shot and then just laid on the ground or whatever on some old Eddie Guerrero shit. I like how AJ Styles had Eddie Guerrero's attire on, a tribute to Eddie Guerrero's attire.
That was cool.
And Dom is very scary, bro. It's like he looks just like Eddie. He looks like Eddie, bro. He looks like Eddie Guerrero, and it's kind of like he's just channeling that Uncle Eddie energy. I love every bit of it, and he's definitely a superstar. He's a superstar, and was it you that predicted in 2 years he'll be a world champion? Was it Nick?
That was Nick. Nick said world champion in 2 years now. It might be the AAA Mega Championship, but still.
I concur, man. He's just in his bag right now, and I love it. I love every bit of it. Shout out to Dom, man. A+.
So A+. I ain't mad at that at all. Mr. Madison J, your thoughts on IC champion, future world champion Dominik Mysterio versus AJ Styles?
Storytelling-wise, match-wise, it was definitely one of those ones. I love the tributes. I love the storytelling in terms of, well, mind you had AJ Lowrider, Eddie Guerrero tribute in terms of his tights. Also, he had his son looking like Dominik as well, with the blonde dyed action going on, looking like Eminem.
Mm-hmm.
So Dom paid tribute to his pops because he had on the same colored attire that Ray had on when the Eddie matchup as well. I thought that was really dope storytelling. I will say this, man, AJ, legend, one of the GOATs, even in a loss. I already knew when that matchup was being planned, him and Dominik. I said they're going to have a great matchup, and I already knew AJ was going to make sure of that. But Dominik, he's just stepping up to the occasion match after match. He is doing what he's supposed to do. In the words that I tell, he's a diaper dandy, baby. He's just got it, man. Company is in great hands. Mark my words, I will go even further in the timeline. Watch out for Dominik. Dominik is going to pull a Cody. If he's not a WWE lifer, he will go and do some shit in terms of start a company of his own or go to the competition and really revolutionize wrestling, just because he's like a Cody, but he's younger than Cody. He's going to give somebody who's born in the business, who is the business, who's given their life to the business, and he's really going to shift it into a whole different trajectory. And I will say, mark my words on that. With that match there, I'm going to give it an A.
All right.
Great work from both men. This being his last SummerSlam, or potentially being his last SummerSlam. Let's see where it goes, man. And if that is true leading into the next year, everybody wants to be Kobe, man. Everybody wants to get that tour. I just think that's really dope, everything that AJ has given us. And if this is towards the end, my God, what a career this man has had.
I don't see them letting Dominik go ever. I'm sure they'll do whatever to keep this man, not unless he just becomes a complete nuisance to the locker room. Some
brother, money talk.
Yeah. Don't get it twisted.
But I'm sure they will open up their wallets to a Dominik Mysterio. I want to make sure this man is taken care of.
Whether it's home base, let's make sure he's good, or the opposition, like let's throw money at him. Shout out to Dirty Dom, man. Sweet promo at the end too.
Yes.
So that was definitely dope.
One of the best things that could happen to Dom would probably be to leave just for a little bit. And Ray's done it. Ray's left and come back. Just to get some more seasoning in other places. The WWE system is all that Dom knows.
But do y'all know this man trained with Lance Storm? He trained with Jay Lethal. Like, this dude's dad was like really setting him up to be one of those ones. And that's why he's so great.
We're talking about Dom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, he's trained with a lot of people, bro. I was watching an interview with him, and that's why he's good. People don't know who Lance Storm is.
We do.
But when you say Lance Storm to the average, they're like, who? But to us, it's like, oh, shit. You know what I'm saying?
I think this run in AAA is going to do some wonders for Dom.
Yes.
I feel like rubbing elbows down there is going to do some great wonders for him, just to spice up the palette and then bringing that back to WWE. What potential storyline can get pushed down there? We don't know. We'll just have to wait and see for the next AAA event. But I think Dom, man, his trajectory right now is just, the sky's the limit for that kid.
insane. And your Godfathers is what? Psychosis,
Yeah, bro.
Fatu, Guerrera, Conan, bro.
Yeah.
Rates.
Wealth of knowledge.
It's only 28 years old. So much he can do in the next 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Like he has Huvitu tatted on his finger.
I didn't know that.
He's a student.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's just crazy, bro. I didn't know Huvitu was one of his Godfathers. This is wild, bro.
I didn't know that either. The juice is loose.
The juice is loose.
Let's see, yeah, multiple wrestling legends who are considered his godfathers.
Yeah, bro, it's crazy.
Eddie Guerrero.
I was a
Conan,
big fan of Psychosis, man.
Psychosis, La Parca, Villanelle 4. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Where's El Dandy?
Hey, who are you to doubt El Dandy?
Brett was a U.S. champion and he had his growing pool. And he kept avoiding competitors. And he said, you know what, I'm going to pick the best competitor possible. So El Dandy. And then I think it was Mike Tenay or someone. It was like, El Dandy. And then Bret Hart was like, well, who are you to doubt El Dandy?
But it's like he said it so seriously, though, 'cause that's who I'm choosing. He just looks at the camera, you know what I'm saying? They're just classic.
So Gold A+, Madison a A. I'm going to give it an A as well. That match was as great as I expected it to be. So shout out to them. Before we move on to the last match on our recap show, which technically I don't know what order I'm going to put these matches in, but I'll probably put this one towards the front. Before you watch whatever match is next, make sure you click that like and subscribe button. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a family member.
Yeah, son.
And to join the movement here at HHW. Let's talk about RK Roll. Randy Orton and Jelly Roll teamed up against Logan Paul, future world champion Logan Paul, and Drew McIntyre in a match which is way better than I thought it was going to be. This match was actually good. It had told a great story from a psychological standpoint. The Jelly Roll, show out ring-wise? Of course not. But did he do good in terms of selling and getting his ass whooped? He did a great job getting his ass whooped. He also did a great job with his facial expressions and also just saying, hey, I can handle this, Randy. Let me man up and go against Drew. Randy did a great job being a supporting player for the overall story of the match. Logan Paul, this dude, MVP. He had an outstanding performance. Everybody performed well. It exceeded my expectations. So I'm gonna give it a B, especially it being celebrity-driven match. I do need Logan Paul to stop doing that damn split, though. He's not Naomi. Quit doing that leg drop split. It looks very, very sus. And that's the one thing I'm gonna need you to remove from your repertoire, sir.
Why you want to do split so bad?
Oh, God.
I don't know why he does that, but yeah, he got to get rid of that one. That's not a good look for Logan Paul. Other than that, yeah, but I thought the match was pretty entertaining, so I'm gonna give it a B. What about you, Gold? What did you think about RK Roll?
C+.
C+. Cause
it's a filler.
This was a high-profile match.
I guess.
They actually did the right thing business-wise to have the outsider get pinned clean with a frog splash by Logan Paul. What were your thoughts on the match, Madison J?
I thought Jelly Roll definitely did what he needed to do. It's two types of people on the celebrity life when they enter the WWE, when they enter the wrestling world in general. What's gonna happen? Either they're gonna get it, look great, or either, they're gonna look like, they're gonna look like shit. Jelly Roll was a little bit in the middle, but it's not his fault. He's not a wrestler. He's an entertainer in terms of a musician. So with that being said, it was just certain things for me, just as a wrestling spectator, that I was like, ugh. They were a little cringe, but for the most part, he definitely told a good story. He did what he needed to do. I agree. Logan definitely was the MVP of the match. Kid has just got it. For Drew and Randy for quarterbacking the whole play and putting it all out there to help Jelly Roll shine. I still have to give the match a C, though. Not to get a match a C.
All right, so Madison J is giving the match a C. Gold gave it a C+. I gave it a B. Maybe because I was just so pleasantly surprised. Jelly Roll.
C+. I'll give it a C+.
C+? All right.
C+.
My brother.
Jelly Roll took that damn splash on the announce table like a champ. He did a good job selling the pain and then coming back to help his boy Randy out with the hot tag. I was like, the cameraman, the directors knew how to shoot this match right.
Shout out to Jelly Roll. Thank you so much. for your contribution, sir. I know that you really trained to make this the best match as possible, and that ain't easy. I was listening to, I forgot who was talking in an interview, and there was like, just bouncing on the ropes, going back and forth. If your body's not used to it, that shit sores.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure he went through all of that shit, and you got to take bumps a certain way or you'll hurt yourself. It takes a second to hurt yourself. So shout out to you, Jelly Roll. Thank you so much.
Oh yeah, he definitely looked like he was in a fight. And he got Logan got major air on that choke slam. Shout out to him. They did a good job. All eyes on Logan. If he doesn't win that Royal Rumble, he's going to win the Money in the Bank. But that world title is coming. One of those world titles is going to be in his hands.
I concur.
Next year.
I concur.
Right.
For sure. What else can this guy do to convince his naysayers?
Do you think he'll get the world title or the undisputed?
I think he's going to get the world title first.
I agree.
Because technically he's a Raw talent. I think he's going to go back to Raw and start stirring up shit there. Cody, CM Punk for the undisputed title next year. That's what I'm thinking.
That'd be a good ass match. Who y'all think gonna win though?
I don't want to jump the gun just yet.
Yeah. We'll see what type of story they tell for that. Because if they want CM Punk to have that ultimate crowning glory moment, a Royal Rumble WrestleMania combo would be good for him.
Yeah, I said the same thing, but can y'all see Cody losing the title 2 times in a row at WrestleMania?
I think CM Punk has that old school mentality of like, what's good for business? I just won the world title and lost it in 60 seconds, but it's to generate more business for more people to tune in to see me get my hands on Seth Rollins. You know what I mean?
But to go to WrestleMania and lose it,
it's not about the wins, losses. It's about the performance.
Being there.
Cody will be fine if he loses it, because he will lose it again, and he'll get it.
My man beat John Cena, the ultimate babyface. Yeah,
exactly.
He definitely leveled up again. He was already at that, but now he's just like,
oh yeah, he got the rub. I mean, he already had the rub. He was already a guy, but
yeah,
you can't turn this man heel now.
No,
you could. I don't know if you should though.
No, it'd be a bad move.
Yeah.
He's beat all his nemesis, though. At least all his high profile. The only person really left would be The Rock.
Yeah.
Well, he's not a nemesis yet also, but Punk. You know, he's beaten, mind you, Cena, Brock.
He beat
Randy.
He beat Orton. He beat Logan.
I think just logically, unless it's on some build somebody up to face Cody, he's going through everybody except those 2 names aforementioned,
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, we can't count on The Rock.
All good.
So just like, just like,
probably all good, bro.
It's just like, stay away.
That's why I promise. It shows the impact of The Rock. Of like, people literally are pissed at this man for not showing up. It's like, bro, at this point of the game, even with Cena, I have certain expectations for these guys in terms of like, y'all have a whole separate thing going on. That would be like somebody expecting you to be around all the time. It's like, bro, I've grown from that. I'll be around when I'm around. Man, bro, don't even come around the block no more. You don't come around the hood no more. It's like, bro, I've got way other going on as well. At the same time, yeah, man, you left us in the dark on some shit. Like, y'all had a storyline, but it's happened before. We moved on. What's next?
It is what it is. But I was saying too, I was like, don't be so quick to push that rock button.
Yeah.
Rock button, rock. You know what I'm saying? Get creative. Yeah. Use the people that you got. You got so many awesome characters within this company, man. Just get creative. Get creative.
Definitely.
The idea of an evil Rock abusing his power is just like a great money storyline, but if he's not going to consistently be there, change his mind on the win, don't disturb this groove. We need,
ladies and gentlemen,
straight up, don't disturb this groove. Okay, system of a day.
Yeah, we need consistency. We need a flow. That's what's going to make it work. And again, I'm a huge Rock fan, but very disappointed they just dropped the ball with the whole Final Boss thing. From October all the way to the debut on Netflix, all the way up to One in Cody's Soul, nothing's been tied off yet. All right, so Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss defeated Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez to win the women's tag titles, which is not what I predicted. I had predicted that the Judgment Day were going to walk away with it to help further build up the implosion of the Judgment Day and for Liv's return. But they decided that the We're Not Friends movement has a lot of heat around it. Fans are behind it, so why not pull the trigger and go with it? I assume that these 2 teams will still continue to feud back and forth over the next month or so. So I'm not mad at it. What did you think about this matchup?
I enjoyed it. Definitely surprised by the outcome. I chose Raquel and Roxanne like you. Kind of makes sense. Charlotte and Alexa, like, getting that pop, and Raquel and Roxanne didn't need it. They're in Judgment Day. They got so many storylines that could play out with them. So it's like, why not let these two ladies hold those titles and see what happens? Let's see how the crowd reacts. Let's see what kind of storytelling we can do and experiment with them. Like I said, Roxanne and Raquel, it's just so much going on within the Judgment Day. So it's not going to hurt them at all. I was surprised again, but I'm not mad at it. I give the match overall a B+.
So for the match itself, Judgment Day, they have a built-in storyline already. Alexa and Charlotte have a new storyline that they're building out. Can these two trust each other? At what point will they claim that they're friends? And what will get in the way to cause whatever turmoil that's inevitably going to happen? I don't know. But right now, let's just see what they do with it, I guess. So you gave the match a B+. What are your thoughts on the match, Madison J?
Thought it was a really good match in terms of making sure that the Alexa and Charlotte chemistry keeps going on, keeps pushing, keeps building up. Judgment Day, I actually do hate to see them lose the titles. I think that those titles just helps push that faction even, they are one of the, they are up there. Their jersey will be hung up in the rafters. Judgment Day, one of the all-time great factions. It's gave so many guys great elevation. It's crazy. I was looking at Rhea when she came out, the purple. And I said, look at that. That's Judgment Day right there. You know what I mean? And just that whole rub, it started from a guy who's not even with the company anymore. And I just thought that's so dope, so crazy to have that vehicle of the Judgment Day and elevate all this talent, give them a whole crazy light. I just think the matchup itself, I'm going to give it a B.
My brother.
B+. All right, so Madison gave it a B+.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the match, I enjoyed the match for what it was. They all worked hard. They all did a great job. I'm not the hugest Alexa. I was actually talking about this when I was watching it yesterday. I'm not a huge Alexa Bliss fan in the ring. I love her character. I love her aura. But she just does certain moves that I don't like the Twisted Bliss moonsault. Well, who are you pinning with that? I think we are small. Like Roxanne Perez does it right to be her size, but she's more believable than Alexa Bliss, who's taller than Roxanne. I just think Alexa Bliss needs to get some forearms, like some strikes, some DDTs. Like in the video game, when you're creating your character, there's this whole section called non-lifting moves. That's what Alexa needs, is a whole bunch of non-lifting moves, but these damn cartwheels with the knees on the stomach and the Twisted Bliss moonsault is just...
That Sister Abigail DDT is fire, though.
I like that, and I like the setup, although I don't like moves with long setups. I like the way that she looks when she does it, because there's this evil in her eyes, and then she flips it into the DDT. There's just certain moves like that. Yeah, that Twisted Bliss moonsault, I'm just like, that does nothing. It's kind of like a Rob Van Dam. I remember watching this match. It was like a Sunday Night Heat match, and Raven was on commentary. Rob Van Dam was in the ring. He did his little standing moonsault, and Raven was like, that move is so ineffective, and it doesn't hurt. I'm like, yeah, it's just a waste of a move.
Hey, Raven.
Yeah. Logan's split leg drop got more oomph than the Twisted Bliss moonsault. So it's like, okay, come on, bro.
But you remember Rob Van Dam did that shit too, the split moonsault.
Well, but at least he did it off the turnbuckle. You could kind of think there's some physics and gravity involved. But like Alexa Bliss gets to the top and just says, all right. It's like a kid doing their first flip ever. Like, okay, here I go. And it's just like trash.
And that's how I feel about Zelina Vega, that little knee that she do on the turnbuckle.
Which one is that?
She hits on the turnbuckle, and she hits you with the, she jumps on you with her knees or whatever.
Oh, the Meteora. But
okay.
I like it when Sasha Banks does it, when Mercedes does it, because she's like the queen of the Meteora. She can just hit that shit from anywhere. But for the most part, I don't know, I'm being picky. Alexa clearly is over and she's a former world champion, but
I'm with you, man. It's kind of like, with Randy's cutter and then DDP's cutter. It's like...
There's two different cutters.
Randy makes it look better, bro.
Yeah.
Little DDP, he created it, but Randy just made that shit looks more vicious.
I'm actually a DDP guy, but I say longevity. You know what I mean? Orton, he had more time in the game in terms of being able to play with the RKO. He had more guys under the belt in terms of giving it to. And I think with DDP, because DDP, his was like out of nowhere type. It just wasn't called out of nowhere. But also, I've always felt like they're two different ones because DDP's is more like standing and Orton's more swinging, like swings.
Yeah.
DDP's more, so it's like they're similar, but different.
It's like Randy Orton's whole body gets in the air.
Right.
But DDP he just comes down with it.
He just drops with you like
Randy jumps up, grabs you while he's still in the air and brings you.
And then I don't know if y'all remember that match. Was it Eddie Guerrero versus DDP where he kind of put him in a fireman's carry? Mm-hmm. And then he pumped him up and then caught him with a Dominik cutter. That shit was crazy.
Yeah, it was pretty much the equivalent of the TKO move that Nikki Bella does.
Okay, the TKO. Mark used to
do that.
Top 5 finishers?
Maybe.
Yeah, I wouldn't say my
top 10.
Se, but
top 10?
Just a cutter in general. I like the cutter in general.
Yeah, me too.
I got a character in the video game. His name is Cal Cutter, and all he does is cutters.
Yeah.
That's hard, bro. Like, somebody about to steal that. You got to patent that, bro.
Yeah. Nothing but cutters. Both of y'all said B+.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a B. Just because I was talking about the damn Twisted Bliss moonsault, give it a B. But shout out to them. I'm interested to see what the story is going to be for both teams going forward. We'll see what's going on in the clubhouse tonight. We'll see what's popping on Friday for Charlotte and Alexa. All right, let's go to the Tribal Chief. Roman Reigns back in the ring for the first time since WrestleMania, teaming up with Jey Uso against Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, which it was heated, it was dope, the crowd was hype. Roman Reigns almost killed himself trying to do an Undertaker dive out the ring. Got crazy, way more hype than he probably thought he was going to get. Must have been the shoes. Matter of fact, what shoes did he have on, Gold?
He had on some custom Jordan boots. Jordan made him some boots just for this match, which is super cool.
I heard he's supposed to be getting a sponsorship.
Yeah, I think he's on part of Jordan brand now.
Not a sponsorship, an actual featured line.
Yeah, that'll be
that's what I heard.
Okay.
That'll be fire.
He looks like he didn't lose a step since he's been gone. Conditioning was good. The match was great.
Yeah.
Breaker and Bronson Reed showed out. They looked great in performing. I want Breaker to slow his ass down. That damn jump off the apron into the announce table before he f***ed up his legs. I'm impressed by your athleticism, dude. The last thing we need from Braun Breaker is to lose any level of his explosiveness.
I agree.
Yeah, the match was really good. I really enjoyed it. Went about 20 minutes. They had a bunch of hot tags. Did Roman get his shoes back?
No.
All right.
Didn't. Paul Heyman had him. Remember, he had him around his neck still.
I thought that was dope that Bronson did that. A lot of sneaker blogs picked that up, and they actually ran with that. So that right there, I just kind of smiled. I was like, see?
Me too.
When you dip into the culture, when you bring these things to the forefront, that's what happens. You get that little press and that little notoriety. That's what it's about. I like that.
Exactly.
That's some more disrespectful shit. Beat you up, take his shoes and win.
Kicks, and then not only any kicks, they were, you know what I mean? Those J's, those fours. They were amazing.
Yeah.
That's
dope.
Yeah. See, I thought the match was dope. I give it an A. No complaints here on my side, but what are you thinking about the match, Gold?
I say A too, especially with the Roman spot and the Bronson Reed spot. Bronson Reed doing a suicide dive.
He overshot that too.
Yeah, crazy, bro. Crazy. And then Roman with his high-flying woman like he'll luchador. But this great match. I think everybody did a great job. And I'm looking forward to the next one. I don't think that's the last match we're going to see between them.
Roman got a vendetta. And now that Seth's back, a lot of different sticks in the fire right now. I'm interested to see what's next. Because at some point, Roman got to break out and get back on this title quest. But he still has revenge to get. Midas and Jade, what did you think about the match?
I thought the match was cool. A lot of aura in there, courtesy of Roman, obviously. Jay as well. I didn't like the outcome because I really thought Braun and Bronson should have won. Mm-hmm. It was cool. You know what I mean? It was good to see Roman back, true to form, back like he never left. How long is he going to be here? Is there going to be some action going on post SummerSlam, or was that just more a one-off, come back again in a few months? I'm going to give the match, I'm going to give it a B+.
All right.
Yeah, B+.
All right. So I'm giving it an A, Gold's giving it an A, and you are giving it a B+. Let me go ahead and grab these and run them through the VSOP Computron. So it looks like both shows at SummerSlam received the same overall grade. Night 1 overall grade was a B+, and Night 2 overall grade was a B+. It was a B+ pay-per-view, which is a good score. For the first one, I mean, that's great. Nothing was like trash. We'll keep this scoring system in place. I actually like it. It's better than doing star ratings and shit like that. SummerSlam, the first ever 2-night SummerSlam, was a success in my book. I'm looking forward to what they do next year, how they grow it and make it bigger and bigger, because I really haven't cared about a SummerSlam in a long, long time.
Yeah, I agree.
No.
So I don't even remember who was on the card main event last year.
That was Solo Cody Rhodes. That's when LA Knight went against Logan Paul. It was in Cleveland.
Logan. In Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
Braun Breaker beat Sami Zayn. Liv beat Rhea. Gunther beat Damian Priest. A lot happened, but still wasn't that lit when you think about it.
This year, better.
Roman was back last year. Roman showed up at SummerSlam. He didn't wrestle. He showed up.
Yeah, he just came back at the end.
To beat up Solo Sikoa at the end. So,
okay.
That was last year's. If you're still rocking with us, make sure that you hit that like and subscribe button. Tell a friend to tell a friend. After John Cena did the honors to Cody Rhodes last night, but we saw the return of Brock Lesnar. The internet is split. Some fans are thrilled, others are furious. This return comes after serious controversy, and the timing kinda suspicious, but if you know WWE's history, maybe it's not that surprising. It's been at least 2 years since we've seen Brock, with all the heat from the Janelle Grant controversy. So now he's back. Is this just business as usual, or is WWE putting profits over accountability? What are your thoughts on Brock Lesnar returning?
My heart goes out to the people involved. It's getting real crazy nowadays. The people that you look up to and the people that we are fans of, you're finding out that it's a lot of the skeletons in the closet. It's very disheartening. It's very disheartening. And it's kind of like you want to be a fan of them, but at the same time, you want to have human emotion and feel for people being affected by certain situations. I'm a fan of people being excited about Brock Lesnar, the character, coming back to wrestling, but the other, you know what I'm saying? I'm not a fan of.
I'm going to assume that wherever his name was in these allegations, he came out clean to where WWE felt safe enough to bring him back. He's been laying low for a very long time. I don't know if Vince McMahon will get the same treatment and be allowed to come back. Wrestling fans are fans. Some of them look past of it, some of them don't. We're in this new era where we know everybody's business. We want transparency, all these things, this, that, and the third. But he showed up.
Yes, sir.
He got a huge pop, and
yeah, he did.
He's 48 years old himself. This might be his retirement tour as well. Maybe he's going out the way he wants to. I'm not sure how to feel about it. Madison J., what are your thoughts on the return of Brock Lesnar?
I was very shocked to see Brock come out. Very shocked, very surprised. How do I feel about it with everything that's going on in the legal world? It looks like clear. The best way I can put it, look like it's clear, because I don't think they will disregard the legal route and go ahead and put my man on the Summer Jam screen like that. So it must be cool. Not to say that what happened is cool, but in terms of bringing it back. And also at the end of the day, the call was actually from John Cena in terms of bringing him back, according to Triple H, because I think WWE, according to them, they would have been brought him back, especially the UFC TKO situation. That would have been a great time to bring Brock back in terms of having representation in both areas, and then him being such a superstar. I figured there had to be a certain reason, and Triple H did put out a statement saying that John wanted to control his destiny and the way he's going out, and one of those things was bringing Brock back. So speaking volumes for John Cena, he's someone of a higher moral fabric, as long as morals weren't compromised. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, it's entertainment. I don't want anybody to feel uncomfortable if they're at harm. I saw Terry Reynolds made a statement. They were speaking on that. I think that this might have been old. So people speaking out in terms of safety. Hey, if are safe and taken care of in terms of that way, I feel a little better. Superstars, people in the back like, yo, I don't feel safe with Brock being here. That's when you have to step in and be like, all right, no, we're not. Whatever story you want to close out, whatever not, we want to make sure everybody's good. So
I'm with you. Apparently something must be in the clear for him to come back on TV. Per request of John Cena to wrap things up, full circle. They came in together, they exit together. As long as the employees feel comfortable and feel safe, that's the business decision they chose to make. It's a slippery slope in the world that we're in right now. Any outrage that is out there, and there definitely is, it's valid. Well, there's gonna be a lot of heat for this one.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I knew that off rip, but also at the same time, I knew that's what WWE was setting up for. They didn't do a post press conference. They had post segments, but no post conference. Mind you, that would have been the talk of the town. Like, yo, Brock's back. What does that mean? This, that, and the third.
They checking the temperature.
Yeah, they shut that shit down. No post-press conference today, baby. You know what I mean? WWE's smart. They are a giant corporation. They're going to have their practices and their ways. It's just a matter of what people are willing to take. I compare it almost to like the government. Of course, you know, the government has certain positive and has certain negatives. You know what I'm saying? Mind you, they've been here forever. WWE's been here forever. They are what they are. How much are you willing to take? How much are you willing to speak out on? And people can be changed, but at the end of the day, it's going to be what it is until it ain't.
If there was anyone else except Brock, would it hit the same?
Of course not.
No.
It was the last thing I was expecting, and we predicted a whole bunch of different shenanigans, but no one here said, oh yeah, Brock's gonna come back.
Nah.
Out of mind.
I thought that was dead in the water.
I thought it was a wrap.
Yeah, me too, 100%.
But they brought him back. It's going to feud with Cena. After that, are we wrapping it up? Where do you see this going? If they wanted to make things interesting, there's the whole Paul Heyman dynamic.
Yes, look, and me and my homegirl was talking about that shit. I said I could see a fatal four-way between Brock, Punk, Roman, and Seth. But I think they're going to continue to check the temperature.
Maybe not overexpose him.
Yeah.
If we get to the point to where people ain't f***ing with it, you're going to like make a quick exit for him. Like, all right, you're going to get beaten there and we won't see you no more.
Where do you see Brock Lesnar going? If they're going to put some legs on this and get him in some action, Madison J, is Cena it, or do you see some other things spawning from it?
I see Cena coming in. Obviously, sky's the limit. I mean, you got a few new players since Brock has been gone. Possibly could just be a one-off or a few matches. Having Brock do something with Cena could stretch out for a few events. Let them do their thing. And bada bing, bada boom, kind of Brock slip back off into the country abyss.
Back to Minnesota with Sable.
Another round.
Farmland and whatnot.
If you want to try to get some money out of it, 3 people pop up in my head. Can you guess who those 3 are?
Cena, Cody, Roman.
He's done 3 WrestleManias against Roman. I'm Roman, Brock Lesnar out. I'm thinking Gunther, Braun Breaker, Jacob Fatu.
Yeah.
If you want to get some mean guy action popping, especially Breaker.
Brock versus Breaker.
Yeah.
Brock versus Bronson.
Brock versus Bronson. Of course, Gunther versus Brock. They teased that at the Royal Rumble 2023.
Yeah.
That'd be a good ass match.
If they want to get some money out of it, better get it quick before he gets canceled and out of here. Have you ever even read the suit? It is disturbing. Vince McMahon is on some shit.
I think that weird.
Vince McMahon is on some shit. They never said Brock's name in the civil suit. They just mentioned a former UFC champion, but we know who they was talking about.
I mean, shit, man. I mean, look at Diddy.
That's like wrestling.
That's like wrestling.
Raps like wrestling, man.
I don't know if this is good for business. I don't know if it's bad for the brand or if it's both.
Both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both.
Yeah. Yeah.
Both.
Bittersweet. You gonna be the death of me.
Again, you can't. This is a switch you just can't easily flip. WWE, best of luck to you on that. That is your problem. So you figure that out. Whatever you put on TV, you figure that out.
Right.
My name is Bennett, and I ain't in it. Old school.
Super old school. I love it.
Right now, you're checking out the SOP.
Hip hop and wrestling.